SD News with tonight's headlines. The upcoming birthday of infamous raconteur Alexander Fox has caused abject blind terror amongst the residents of Bristol and York. Prime Minister Boris Johnson warns an anxious public to take every precaution needed.
I urge you, at this moment of national emergency, to stay at home and save lives.
Worldwide hop shortages abound as obsessive home brewers outbid major breweries for final stocks. Also in the programme, woolen sock sales soar as the recent trend of wearing socks over jeans has left some fashionistas feeling a little bit woolly. Good evening, I'm Peter Waffle. Tonight's top story. The birthday of York exile and notorious roue rider Alexander Michael Fox falls this year on the 7th of April. With the date fast approaching, citizens and experts are fearful over what fate could befall the city of Bristol. SD journalist Kathy Ryo has this report.
It's a quiet, misty morning here in Bristol. A city reputed for its protests and activism, strangely subdued by the threat of this year's birthday celebration for Alexander Fox. Usually, Cottam Hill is a thriving hub of busy shoppers, pub goers and bad lads on ponies. Today, however, businesses are closed, pubs are empty and the city nervously holds its breath as it asks, what will Foxy do next? To answer the question, we must first understand the man. Born in 1982 at Manchester General Hospital, history remembers April 7th as a day ordained in the Mayan calendar as the Great Reckoning of all things. Tonya Wilson was the attending midwife at Manchester General and remembers things a little differently.
Oh God, yeah! He was completely spherical like beach ball. Biggest head I've ever seen.
Do you remember the moments immediately after his birth?
Well, he came busting out singing Meatloaf, I would do anything for love. What do you do after that, Shell?
Slapped me on the arse, asked if I had any tins.
What happened after that?
Chewed his cord off, went for pint with his dad. Labour lasted 72 hours. 69 of those was just his head.
Mr. Fox had started as he meant to go on. What followed were many years of misdemeanour and debauchery. From graspings and fire escapes to a misty racecourse in his teens, no corner of York was left unmolested. As a confident, unsolicited vocalist, Alex's musical ambitions peaked when platinum-selling recording artist Coldplay supported Mr. Fox's band in the late 90s. We reached out to Chris Martin for comment, but he was far too busy and successful to find the time. So what is next for Alexander Fox? We spoke with leading phrenologist and antisocial behavioural expert, Professor Janke Wybord, and we asked him what to expect in the potentially deadly and volatile events to come.
We have been studying Mr. Fox for years, and what baffles us most about his particular case is his stamina. We often observe subjects with greater cranial radius have an increased capacity to assess risk and demonstrate complex understanding of social cues. This is categorically not the case for Mr. Fox. We believe the increased space between his knees causes not only extreme bendiness, but catastrophically impairs his ability to follow rhythm. Me and my colleagues are of the opinion that no flicker of sentience lies behind the cold, dead, tiny eyes of a turkey. And this board is unanimous that Alex is that turkey.
And do you believe Mr. Johnson is correct in calling for another lockdown in light of Mr. Fox's birthday?
Yeah, absolutely. My advice to the public, hands, face, space, can of mace.
But are the British public actually prepared to enter another lockdown? And could this be a lot of fuss over one very, very small man?
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not overkill. We've just got back from shopping and we're ready to hunker down for a couple of days in this lockdown. Yeah.
I think it's pretty appropriate, to be honest. You know, we've been through 3 lockdowns. The 4th one's not going to be any worse, is it?
This is really the appropriate measure for what's happening, and I will be shutting myself away for this particular time.
If one thing is clear, it's that the public and experts are in agreement. Alex Fox is a law unto himself, and it is in the nation's best interest to heed public warnings and the advice from Number 10, before this sniper's dream becomes a sniper's nightmare. Kathy Ryo, SD News, Bristol.
And we have Kathy with us now live from White Ladies Road in Bristol. Kathy, what is the feeling from the street today? Do people seem worried?
Well, Pete, the local Waitrose has run out of crab, stout and CD copies of Burn by Usher, so it seems the public are planning to celebrate Mr Fox in the safest way possible, staying at home and staying far away from him.
And what do the police preparations look like in line with this evening's activities?
Home Secretary Priti Patel has decided on a more focused approach, including beer bottle barricades. She also urges the public to call 999 should they spot a bandy-legged beach ball man banging on about how great Factory Records is.
And what about Mr Fox's friends? Any word from them?
Happy birthday!